कालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 11th chapter. Yesterday we heard that as long as the living entity is not freed from bad association, as long as he does not conquer the 6 kinds of enemies of the mind, as long as one does not establish himself in the platform of Atma through knowledge acquired from the devotees, the living entity will pass through various births and deaths. He will be constantly moving in the cycle of repeated births and deaths as long as he is not, freed from these things. We will continue from verse number 16. Na yavadetatman devatanman atmalingam sansara-tapavapanam janasya yacchoka mohamaya raga lobha वैरानुबंधम ममतांग विधन्ते। आत्मोपाधि मन जीवेर संसार तापेर मूल. When the mind identifies itself with the body or material things, or Atmopadhi man, or when we consider ourselves as the mind, the living entities will get troubles. So, Here it is being told the root cause of all troubles is our identification with our mind. जीव यावत ताहा जानिते ना पारे तावत संसार भ्रमण करिते थाके. Till the time the living entity does not realize this, the root cause of all my problems, the root cause of my traveling through various births and deaths, is due to my identification with the mind. As long as the living entity does not understand this, he will have to pass through repeated births and deaths. One has to understand the root cause of all our troubles is our identifying with the mind. যেহেতু মন রোগ মোহ রাগ লোভ ও বৈর এই সকলে সংযুক্ত হইয়া বন্ধন ও মমতাকে উৎপাদন করে, বিকজ it is the mind that brings attachment and it is the mind that brings mamata, mamatva, I and mine, the feeling of I and mine, the feeling of attachment is caused by the mind. How? Roga, sometimes in disease state, this is my body, therefore I get troubled. My mind is telling that your body is not good. So because I have identified with the mind, the disease is troubling us. Sometimes doctors say that actually you have no disease, you have a problem with the mind. Isn't it? The doctors say actually you are thinking that you have this problem, but there is no problem. The problem is with your mind. So it is actually true that if our mind is strong, in the sense we don't identify ourselves with the mind. The pure devotees, they are constantly in ecstasy. Most revered Srila Gurudev, he was performing Nagar Sankirtan and a thorn had entered into his feet, pricked him. But he was not in his external senses at all. If we have identification with our legs or the body or with our mind, then this will trouble us. But he is performing Sankirtan, nothing is happening. Puri Goswami Maharaj, very old, above 90s, and he is walking for parikrama. Devotees are requesting, please sit on the rickshaw. He says, no, this is the last parikrama, maybe I may not live. So let me do as much as possible. At the age of 90 or whatever, above 80s, people would usually want some, comforts, in the sense that they cannot really walk, they cannot really, engage in severe austerities. But Srila Puri Goswami Maharaj is telling that maybe, Baba, this is the last time coming to Navadvip Dham. I don't know, let me walk. So these devotees, they have, of course they are transcendental, they are not of this material world, but they have come here to show example to us that if you don't have identification yourself with the mind and the body, then devotion is very easy. So the mind is attaching itself with roga, disease, moha, infatuation, or what you call delusion, raga, anger, lobha, greed, vaira, enmity, all these things. One is my enemy, one is my friend, this belongs to me, getting attached to certain things. All these things are happening through the mind only. So as long as there is attachment, as long as one identifies or oneself with the mind, so long this trouble is going to be there of the living entities. He cannot be coming out of the cycle of repeated births and deaths. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, माया निरसन सम्यक रूपे की प्रकारे जाना जायते पारे. How can we know whether one is completely freed from Maya or not. How can one free oneself completely from Maya? How is it possible? এইরূপ জিজ্ঞাসা করিলে যতক্ষণ মন বিষয়ের প্রতি অনুরক্ত, as long as the mind is attached to the material things, তাবৎ কাল পর্যন্ত মায়ার দূরীকরণ ও আত্মতত্ত্বের জ্ঞান হইতে পারে না। Till the time one cannot be freed from Maya. As long as the mind is attached to the material things, till that time one cannot be freed from Maya, and one cannot attain or be placed in Atma Tattva, knowledge of the self. Because when we have attachment to material things, when we are trying to perform Hari Bhajan, our mind is constantly going there. Because my mind is attached to material things, when I am trying to perform Hari Bhajan, my mind is not able to concentrate on my object of meditation, because the mind is going elsewhere. Mind is the thing that takes us to a particular place. In my school days, probably everyone has experienced this. Teachers, sometimes in the middle, they would ask a question suddenly, and if the student does not answer, they would immediately, mind absent, body present. They would immediately chastise. Your body is present, mind is absent. Because it is through our mind we are able to get certain things, and it is through mind we are rejecting certain things. The mind has this character, sankalpa vikalpa, accepting and rejecting is the nature of the mind. I accept something which I think is favorable to me, I reject something which I think is not good for me. But as long as I have material attachment, my acceptance and rejectance depends on whether I'll get material happiness or not. But if the mind is attached to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, my acceptance and rejectance will be based on whether it is favorable to Krishna Bhakti or not. A person who has understood this principle of mind, he will very easily attain liberation. Always. Yes.
How do you understand that I'm doing it now for Supreme Lord?
How do we understand?
Yeah. So it's like I'm doing it's not for me, for Maya, I'm not in illusion, I'm doing now for Supreme Lord. So I'm rejecting.
It is a very nice question. The thing is that how do we know? Because the mind is a deceiver. There is a big cheat. How do we know whether we are accepting or rejecting for devotional purpose or for material purpose? Because it's very tricky, the mind. The acceptance, that is why it is said we are always to be under the guidance of the devotees. As long as we are under the guidance of the devotees, it is very safe, because we will be hearing to what their dictations are. Sometimes, I'm just giving one example, arbitrary example. Morning 4 o'clock Mangalarti. Now, mind is a very good, cheat. The mind, because we don't want to wake up, it's very, mind wants to relax, mind does not want to get up so quickly. So the mind is telling that, oh, you slept very late last night, you were doing service all night. Sleep, because if you get up now in the morning, you will not be able to do your services properly. So nice. Oh, it is telling about devotion only. The mind is telling that you can do your devotion nicely in the daytime if you take rest now. It is very difficult to understand the trick of the mind, because the mind always wants the pleasure of the body, because mind is identifying with the body. But when we are guided by the pure devotees, means they said that Mangalarti, one has to attend Mangalarti every day without fail. Why? By taking darshan of Mangalarti, one will get highest auspiciousness. Other afternoon arti is called Bhogarti. The night arti is called as, evening arti is called as Sandhya arti. The night arati is called as Shayan arati. But in the morning arati is called as Mangal arati, not Pratah Kalin arati. Pratah Kal means morning. It is called Mangal arati. Why Mangal arati? Mangala means auspicious. It brings auspiciousness. That is why it is called Mangal arati. And even the demigods, they come to take darshan of the arati of the Supreme Lord. It is not happening in the heavenly planets. It is happening in the earthly planet. Therefore, the demigods, even they come to witness the Mangalarati. Brahma Adi Devagana Gaurangera Arati Kore. We are singing every day. Brahma and all the other demigods, they are all singing the glories, they are all performing the Arati of Mahaprabhu, Arati of Radha Krishna. So they are coming here to witness all this. So when the demigods are coming, why should we hear to our mind? Mind is telling, take rest, no problem. Because you were tired last night, you were doing a lot of service, and day also you have to do a lot of service. The mind tricks us. Therefore, I just give one example. There are several such examples. So we should always be guided by our intelligence or guided by the pure devotees. For that we need to go through the instructions of the pure devotees. If we study, if we go through the instructions of the pure devotees, then through our intelligence we will be able to control our mind's dictation, and then we will be able to actually follow spirituality. Otherwise it's very, very tricky. Mind is very tricky. He shows that he is your best friend, but actually he cannot be your best friend unless until he makes you inclined towards Krishna Bhakti. He cannot be our friend. Okay. So, as long as the mind is attached to material things, it is impossible to remove Maya and to be established in Atma Tattva, knowledge of the self. Atmalingam Atmar Upadhi Rupe Vartaman Eimon যে পর্যন্ত মমতাম বিধত্তে মমতা উৎপাদন করে ততক্ষণ আত্মতত্ত্ব অবগত হইতে পারেন না. As long as we have got this mamata means just like a mother has for the child, the attachment. As long as we are on the platform of attachment, it is not possible for us to be established on the platform of Atma, of the self, as long as we have attachment. কি প্রকার মন তাহাতে বলিতেছেন সংসার তাপের ক্ষেত্র স্বরূপ. And the property of the mind, what is the mind? The nature of mind is told as sansara taper kshetra swarup. This mind is a place where one gets all the material miseries. Means it is through the mind we are experiencing these miseries. It is through the mind we are experiencing the material pleasures. It is through the mind that one is making friends and enemies. So mind is a place where all these things are processed. So if that mind is getting attached to material things, then that is a trouble for the living entities. There is no possibility of establishing Supreme Lord there. Mind will be either Krishna conscious or material conscious. It cannot be both. It can be either we are either Krishna conscious or we can be Maya conscious. But simultaneously both not possible. Mind either thinks of material objects or of the supreme objects. So one has to very carefully understand here. Jada Bharat is telling the properties of the mind, how the mind is very, very important to be controlled, how the mind is to be kept away from material attachments, away from all the feelings of I and mine. Only then one can place oneself on the platform of Atma, otherwise not possible. And as long as one does not place himself on the platform of Atma, he will have to pass through the cycle of repeated births and deaths. Of this there is no rescue. Bhratrivyametam तदभ्र वीर्यम उपेक्षयाध्येदितमप्रमत्तः गुरोर्हरेश्चरणोपासनान्त्रो जहि व्यलीकं स्वयं आत्ममोषम एहि शत्रु अत्यंत प्रबल. This mind, which is an enemy, is very, very strong. Why the mind is compared to enemy? The mind which is identifying itself with matter is our enemy. Mind itself is not an enemy for that matter. When the mind identifies itself with the material things, material pleasures are my pleasure, then it is enemy. So here, E Shatru Atyanta Prabal, this enemy is very, very strong. इहा के उपेक्षा करले इहार पराक्रम बढ़िया उठे. And if you ignore, okay, no problem, then the mind's parakram, strength, power will only increase. Just like an enemy. One is my enemy. As soon as you know that he is your enemy, for the kings I am telling, you have to immediately attack. If you give him time, he will bring more and more force, isn't it? He is your enemy, definitely is not going to sit idle. Definitely it is the case. So what you have to do is, before his, army increases, before he is, becoming more and more powerful, you have to attack. So the mind is like that. Mind is our enemy. If you just say, okay, what will he do? Ignore it. If you ignore the mind like that, he will become more and more strong, more and more powerful. Iha avantar hoileu jiver swarup ke achhadita kore. By all means, he is going to cover the, living entity's consciousness completely. Means the living entities will be drawn more and more towards materialism. If you let the mind loose, okay, no problem, it's mind. Let the mind think whatever it thinks. Let the mind do whatever it do. I don't care. But one day the mind will become heavy on you. You have to attack the mind. That's why Raghunath Das Goswami is telling, I will beat with a broom. I will beat my mind. If you let the mind loose, okay, no. Our Swami Maharaj, he used to say, the mind needs to be given tiger training. You know how a tiger is trained in circus? You have seen circus? A tiger is trained. A tiger is, at first trapped. You see, it's a circus, they want to show some beautiful things that are not possible in ordinary sight. So a tiger is listening to what you are saying. So that's a great feat. So in circus, they want to do this. So they trap the tiger first. Now, how can you tame the tiger? Tiger is not a one that who will listen to you, isn't it? As soon as you go in front of the tiger, finish. He will not say, okay, thank you very much, what do you want? No, mind is like the tiger. Mind is always ready to attack us. He is not telling, okay, you want to do bhajan? Okay, you do. No problem. Will the mind ever say like that? The mind will never say, I want to do bhajan, okay, you do. No problem. No, he will never do. Just like the tiger, he always want to attack. A human person is coming. Human is coming in front. So what Swami Maharaj says, you have to give training to the tiger so that he becomes tamed. He listens to what you say. How do you do it? You put the tiger in the cage. You put the tiger in the cage, arrest him, don't supply any food to him. Don't supply any food to the tiger. The tiger is getting weaker and weaker. Now, if you want to attack someone, you need power, right? So the tiger, he has become powerless. He is in the cage and then he is becoming powerless. After few days, 10 days, 15 days, take a fresh flesh, meat, very fresh one, in front of the tiger. By seeing that, tiger's mouth gets watered, isn't it? Immediately, wow, I got a nice thing. Then Swami Maharaj says, don't let the tiger eat, just go on beating the tiger. Just go on beating the tiger. Only when you say eat, he will eat. Till the time you go on beating the tiger. He cannot attack you because he has no power now. And then, if you beat like this, and then you say go and eat, then he will go and eat. Like this you repeatedly do. If you do it 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, the next time the tiger will know, if I go and eat the flesh, he is going to beat me. Only when he says go and eat, I will eat. In this manner he is tamed. Now, slowly he gives food to the tiger, and then now he says jump out of this circle, fire circle. Then he understands, if I don't do, again he will put me in the prison or in the cage, he will not give me food, let me do it. So that is how the tiger is trained. So the mind is like that. You have to, Swami Maharaj says that you have to train your mind like that. You have to fast your mind from material sense enjoyment. The mind says, oh, this is very nice. You idiot, just stop. You cannot eat that or you cannot go there. Mind says, no, it is very nice. Shut up, shut your mouth and stay silent. Just chastise the mind. Not once, twice, thrice, 4 times. Repeatedly chastise the mind. And you tame the mind. If you do this, Krishna bhajan, then I will give you this. Then slowly the mind understands, oh, if I want to get some material pleasure or if I want to do this, then I have to do Krishna bhajan. So in this manner you have to tame the mind or train the mind. Also, the Vaishnava Acharyas used various ways. They are also requesting the mind. They are calling the mind as Murkha, you idiot, you fool, you stupid, do bhajan. They are chastising the mind. They are Dhariman Charane Tumar. They are also telling that I hold your feet, Baba, my dear mind, I hold your feet. Please listen to me. Means by all means or by any means, you have to tame the mind. The same system may not work for everyone, isn't it? There are different ways of treating different persons, different characters. A person simply by telling, he will listen. You don't have to apply the highest beating technique. Simply by saying, he may, understand, he or she may understand the problem. So use that principle only. Why directly go and attack him? So if the mind is so nice, listens, then you tell, why don't you do bhajan? Just perform 5-6 hours of bhajan, I will give you 10 minutes of relaxation, 20 minutes of relaxation. You can watch YouTube, you can watch Facebook, you can do this, but do 4 hours, 5 hours of bhajan. Try to tame it. But he says, no, I don't want. Okay. Then take the stick. Somehow punish the mind. Then it will be possible. If you are doing this, then I will not supply food in the afternoon to you. Fast. Fasting in the afternoon. Fasting in the night. Not, don't eat anything. Mind will think, oh, this is a trouble to me. It's better I do this. So somehow or other use this various techniques to tame the mind, train the mind. So then what will happen? Otherwise, he is telling that iha avantar hoilevu jiver swarup ke achchedita kore. If the mind goes beyond control, in the sense that if this is like an enemy whose power is getting stronger and stronger. When the mind becomes very strong, it's very difficult to stop him. He will cover your consciousness completely. Hey Rajan, Hari Guru चरणोपासना रूप अस्त्र द्वारा सतर्कतार सहित आपनी स्वयं इहा के विनाश करो. My dear king, through the weapon of Hari Guru Vaishnava's mercy, destroy this enemy. If you have to kill an enemy, you have to use a weapon. What weapon to use? The mind is a subtle thing. Not by sword or by atom bomb one can kill mind. One can destroy the body, but not the mind, not the consciousness. Therefore, what you have to use a weapon that is befitting, this thing. Now, a small ant is there. Very small ant is walking. You take such a big log and want to beat the ant. Do you want to do that? Only small ant. You use only small weapon on it. As you have to use the degree of the treatment is based on what kind of object you are punishing, isn't it? A small boy, he is committing some kind of a mistake. Why do you want to put him in the jail for that? Oh, you are doing this, go to the jail. No, just whatever is befitting him. There is a different category of punishment. So the weapon that should be used to destroy this enemy in our mind is the weapon of mercy, Hari Guru Vaishnavas. Mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnavas. So, my dear king, Hari Guru Charanopasana Rupa. The weapon is worship, whatever you get by the worship of Hari and Guru and Vaishnavas. By that weapon, Satarkatar Sahita Apni Swayam Iha ke Vinash Karun. You have to do this. Nobody is going to do this for you. You have to take shelter of Hari Guru Vaishnavas. You have to get the mercy, and through that mercy weapon, you have to punish your mind very carefully. Then it will be possible. Otherwise, the mind becomes very, very strong and you will go through the cycles of birth and death repeatedly. You will never be able to come out of it. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, Ataiva mankei nigrihita kurite hoibe iha bolte. Therefore, the only solution, my dear king, is to control the mind. There is no other solution. There are no million solutions. There is just one solution for spirituality: control the mind. This is the only principle that we need to apply. That's all. How to do? We have to find ourselves. What suits me the best? What punishment suits me the best? Or what kind of taming or training suits me the best? But by taking shelter of Hari Guru Vaishnavas, you have to punish the mind. This is the only solution. भ्रातृव्यम इत्यादि अर्थात मनरूप शत्रु के उपेक्षार द्वारा ही जही निगृहित करोन ताहार उपेक्षाई ताहार वद ए भाव. So how to destroy the mind's running into material things? Upeksha, through ignorance. Ignore In the translation, ignoring is used in another way. If you ignore the mind, the power of the mind will increase. Is like an enemy, will increase. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur uses the same word ignoring in a different way. You ignore the demands of the mind. Okay, it is again ignoring only, upeksha. Ignore the demands of the mind. Like the parents are taking the child on the street. Whatever the child sees, give me this, buy me this, I want this, I want that. Now you just ignore. Just say, that's all. Don't buy. Don't buy. Yes, I will do. Yes, I will do. Yes, I will do. But don't do. Just like mother and father does. Then slowly he will think that they are only saying yes, they will never do. So we have to train the mind like that. किंतु मनेर अभिलषितो विषय भोग प्रदान रूप अपेक्षार द्वारा ताहाके अनुगृहीत करिबेन ए भाव. But don't take the mind lightly. Okay, let me supply this. After that he will be silent. Don't take the mind lightly. If you supply these things, the mind is going to be even more stronger. Today, the small little boy is, asking for a small cookie. If you supply the cookie, tomorrow he will ask for ice cream. Day after tomorrow he will ask for noodles, and then pizza, and then goes on. The demands will not stop. So you have to ignore the mind. But if you don't ignore the mind's demands, if you go on supplying, his desires will only go on increasing. এখানে सर्वतो भावे সেই মনের বদ अनभिप्रेतई जेहेतु पूर्व तन्मनो लिंगम एवं अन्यत्र तत्वम इत्यादि वाक्ये এই মনেই গুণ অবগুণত্বের সম্পর্কে উৎকৃষ্ট ও নিকৃষ্ট দেহ প্রাপ্ত করায় এবং এই মনেই সাধু সঙ্গে যথার্থ তত্ত্ব শ্রী ভগবান মাধুর্য আস্বাদন করায় ইহা বলা হইয়াছে এবং এখানে দৃষ্টান্ত ভ্রাতৃব্য বলায় ভ্রাতুষ্পুত্র अवध्ययी इहा ज्ञापित होइयाचे. Very beautifully Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining. This need time, but we have no time. So nicely is explaining. Here, Bhratravya, the word used Bhratravya, brother. He is calling the mind as brother. Bhratravya means actually the son of the brother. Bhratravya. Bhrata means brother. Bhratravya means son of a brother. Son of a brother, what is it called? Nephew, huh? No, not nephew. Son of a brother. No, son of a brother. So, the son of a brother is not to be killed. Do we kill the son of our brother? You know son of a brother? Okay. So, you will not kill the son of your brother. He is like your own son. Why will you kill your own son? He is not your direct son, but he is like your own son because he is the son of your brother. So here, Jadabharat is calling the mind as Bhratravya. He is like your brother's son. So brother's son means why to kill? It is not befitting. But here in the main verse it is told that you should kill. He is like a Shatru, he is like a demon. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that here killing does not mean you have to kill, because it is already told previously that the mind is your friend, the mind is also your enemy. If the mind is controlled, if the mind is performing Hari Bhajan, he is your best friend. If the mind thinks about material things, he is your worst enemy. Previously told, it is the mind through which the liberation is possible. It is the mind through which conditioning is also possible. Therefore, here it is not talked about kill the mind. That is not the purpose. The purpose is, why it is being told is, You have to tame the mind, you have to control the mind, you have to bring that enemy under your control. The king not necessarily have to kill the person who is his enemy. Like, I'm giving just an example. India, Pakistan, they are always under tension. The border is always under tension. India, China border is always under tension. Now, India or Pakistan or India or China does not have to attack each other. They just prepare themselves and seriously give a warning to the other country that we are not underprepared for anything. We are ready. So don't think that we have less force and we can be attacked, we can come under your surrender. It is not going to happen. Just give this warning. So in a similar manner, the mind, India or China does not have to attack each other. It's just prepare and be ready and show to the world, show to the country that we are ready for anything. So in a similar manner, with the mind also, you don't have to destroy the mind, because it is again the mind through which we get liberation also. Why do you want to kill that mind? It is through sadhu sangha, the mind will give us good intelligence. If our mind is not present in sadhu sangha, how can we hear? If we destroy the mind completely, we come to sadhu sangha, nothing will go inside us. Therefore, the killing here is not, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing so nicely that it is the mind that is the cause of liberation. Previously he told, here Jadabharat does not mean kill. Bring him under your control. Bring the mind under your control. Don't simply go on supplying fuel to the desires of the mind. You ignore all those things. কেমন সেই মন তাতে বলিতেছেন अध्येदितम स्ववृत्ति सकल के आश्रय करतः प्रबल भावे वर्धित मन. What kind of man should you control? That mind which has excessive material desires or which is controlled by the material pleasures. So that mind needs to be controlled. I'll just quickly rush through. Okay, time is up. And tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow Sunday, we have no class tomorrow. Monday we will speak about Purushottam month. Also Sridhar Maharaj Tirobhav. So we will speak about Sridhar Maharaj and also about Purushottam. Monday is Sridhar Maharaj's disappearance, right? Disappearance. That and also Purushottam month. So we will hear about them. And after in Purushottam month, we will hear maybe Brahma's prayers or whatever, or we'll continue Jada Bharat, whatever you desire. This is the end of the chapter. Yes. Let me complete this purport. যদি বলেন দেখুন বলবান এই মনকে দুর্বল আমি কি প্রকারে নিগ্রহিত করিব, মাইন্ড ইজ ভেরি স্ট্রং and I am very weak, how can I control? তাতে বলিতেছেন গুরু ইত্যাদি শ্রী গুরুপাদ পদ্মের নিকট হইতে প্রাপ্ত মন্ত্ররূপ শ্রী হরির শ্রীচরণ যুগলের যে উপাসনা অর্থ শ্রবণ কীর্তনাদি নববিধা ভক্তি তাহাই অস্ত্র যাহার তদ্রূপ হইয়া. So I am very weak, mind is very strong, how can I control? Yes, you go to Guru, he will give you mantra by which you can please Radha Krishna. You get the mercy of Guru and Radha Krishna. That will be your weapon to, control your mind. By your own strength, by your own power, by your own intelligence, by your own effort and endeavor, it is not possible. You have to go to Guru. Guru will give you mantra. You chant, Krishna will be pleased. Then you will become powerful. Then mind will be under your control. So that weapon is the mantra that we receive from Guru. That is the weapon. Through that weapon, mantra, the meaning of mantra is mantra. Man means mind, tra means liberate. Man tarana, that which liberates the mind is called mantra. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is the best redeemer of the mind from all bondages. That is why Mahamantra. So you have to receive that mantra from Guru. You chant You please Krishna, you please the Vaishnavas, you please Guru, and that is your weapon. And that weapon is there, you can easily destroy. अथवा श्री गुरुदेवई साक्षात श्रीहरि ताहा चरणोपासनाय अस्त्र जाहार तादृश हैया. Otherwise, Guru is not different from Hari. A person who has got the weapon of the shelter of Sri Guru or become of Guru, and then automatically your mind will be, controlled. You have to become of Guru. व्यलिकम সেই মন কপটি অপ্রিয় যেহেতু নিজের বৃত্তি সন্দর্শনের দ্বারা সম্মোহিত করিয়া আত্মানম পরমাত্মা রূপ সর্বস্বই অপহরণ করে অতএব সেই মহাচৌর মনকে নিগৃহীত করো এই অর্থ. ব্যলিকম, it is said, this mind is a great deceiver, is a great cheat. He comes as your friend. Oh, I am your friend. You please keep me with you. But he is a great deceiver. He is a great cheat. He is telling that slowly what he does is sammohita koriya, he will envelop you, he will charm you, he will entice you with so many things. He comes as your best friend and he will entice you with so many material things, and slowly he will grab all your things. Like a person comes as your friend, he is staying with you, exhibiting you as your friend, he is gaining all your faith, and after you have put your 100% faith, you reveal all the secrets to him. Yes, now grab and run away. Mind is like that. He comes as your friend, he makes friendship with you, he entices you, and then he slowly takes away everything from you. Which is takes away means your own consciousness, your own swabhava, nature is completely overtaken by mind. Our swabhava is to serve Krishna, but that is completely overtaken by the mind because we have come under the control. जे योगी भक्ति रूप अस्त्रेर द्वारा निज मन के विषय त्याग कराइया अविद्या विनाश पूर्वक श्री कृष्ण के स्वहृदय धारण करें तिनि मुक्त बोलिया कथित हन. That yogi means that devotee who through the weapon of devotion frees the mind from material sense enjoyment, frees the mind from ignorance, and takes hold of Sri Krishna in the heart, tini mukta bolya katitahan. He is liberated. Means the devotee engages the mind in the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is liberated. And others who are not able to control the mind through the mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnavas, they are conditioned. আর ভক্তির অভাব বশতঃ বাসনাময় মনোবৃত্তি আশ্রয় করায় অবিদ্যা যাহার পরিপুষ্টি লাভ করে তাহাকে বদ্ধজীব বলা হয়. And just the other hand, those who have no control of the mind, those who have not taken shelter of Hari Guru Vaishnavas, those who have left the mind free to do whatever, they are baddha, they are conditioned. So the mind, when it is engaged in Krishna liberation, when it is let freely, then it will be the cause of bondage. Therefore, my dear Rahugana, just chastise your mind through the weapon of the Hari Guru Vaishnava's mercy. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Brahma Sutra Bhashye Paramahamsyam Samhitayam Vaiyasakyam Panchamaskande Brahmana Rahugana Samvade Ekadasha Adhyaya. Thus ends the 11th chapter in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the conversation between Brahmana Bharat and King Rahugana has taken place. So that is the end of chapter 11. We will stop here today. We are already over time. And tomorrow we are not having Hari Katha. Day after tomorrow we will meet again for Srila Sridhar Maharaj's glories as well as Purushottama glories. Okay.
But the Leela of Bharat Maharaj, keeps going, or
No, there are more
there
instructions.
is more instructions.
Yes, yes. He talks about bhakti now.
Let's start.
Yes, bhakti starts now. There are, I think, 2 more chapters about the instructions. So he's still giving instructions to Rahugana. Yes, you had question or comment? Yeah, question.
Sometimes we can see what we have to do, but we have no strength.
No strength, yes.
So this is sometimes my problem. I know I should not do or I should do,
Yes.
but this courage sometimes not there.
Yeah, this is because if all of us have got this problem, the problem is that we know what is right, what is wrong, but we are not able to apply ourselves properly because of the mind deviating us elsewhere. So the only hope, the only no way to get out of it is to pray very sincerely at that time. When we know that this is right and I am not able to do that right, simply shout loudly for the Lord's mercy. That I know, Gurudev, I know that this is my problem, I am not able to get out of it. You please shower your mercy, please bring me out of this soup. And it is possible only by their mercy. By our capacity, because we have so many good and bad sanskaras from the past, and because of that, we act according to that. But we know in the sadhu sangha what is to be done, what is not to be done. We have to shout loudly, we have to cry loudly, like a child is crying for the mother's mercy, and mother will definitely shower her mercy as soon as she hears the cries of the child. So this is the only hope, and this is the only way to come out of it. Over?
Do you want to give one suggestion for this?
We can stop the class now. It is within the subject, different topic, right? Okay, so we will stop and then we will take the question. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaura Hari Ki Jai. परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद प्रोंस स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. सपरिकर श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन श्री श्री राधा गोविंद श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ जीव की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय. जय श्री श्री जड़ भरत की जय. श्री रघुगण राजा की जय. समागत श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.